Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Flopbuster Movie Show live. It's our Thursday show. No Victoria today. She's busy making the big bucks. It's just me. It's going to be Gabe. It's going to be awesome. We're going to run down the movie news. We'll take some questions in the chat. Whoever we got in here, we want to thank you guys for joining us. Last Tuesday, 2 days ago, with Cody. Great episode. Great guy. It was so laid back and awesome talking about a fantastic film. Today, again, we're talking about box office breakdown. We got some things with D23. It's gonna be a whole show. We got everything planned, sort of. Anyway, here's that intro. All right, we're live. Gabe, how you feeling today, man?
Good, good. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good. I feel like there's a level of stress taken off my back from Tuesday because we talked so much about nailing that episode and sort of just going in this direction with the Tuesday show of let's make it structured. Let's make sure the guests are welcome. We got another big guest this coming Tuesday, and I feel like we knocked it out the park. Me and you have been talking about it. I feel like it was a really solid episode, and I'm really excited for people to watch it that haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, very, very solid episode. I was proud of us on how well behaved we were actually.
We were very well behaved, and I think it's a good structure for the show to come, and I think maybe we'll talk about that near the end because I think there's some ideas that me and you have been discussing that I think could be really cool for every Tuesday coming forward. How you been? I know you saw Clerks 3. How was that?
Oh my god, dude, Clerks
Tearjerker,
3,
huh?
it was actually somebody was cutting onions in there. As a lifelong fan of Kevin Smith, and I make no apologies. I stand that man. You already know this.
Yes.
But I do see like let's say like reboot, right? Jen Silent Bob reboot.
Right.
I had issues with it. I had issues with some of his other stuff on yoga hosers and stuff like that. But
Right.
Clerks 3, just a mini synopsis real quick. My thoughts is it was just the perfect way to end the Clerks trilogy. Like I said in some of my reviews, right? It's not a trilogy that I knew that I wanted, but it's an awesome trilogy. Like it was just great the way he ended it. My God, it was awesome.
Give us your rating, man. Shoot a rating real quick.
Again, I stand the man, and Clerks has always been my favorite shit that he's ever done. So Clerks 3, I'm gonna have to give it a good 4.6 out of 5.
Not bad. I mean, hey, if I've heard a lot about this, and I've seen a lot of people say that it's really heartwarming and a bit of return
It
to form.
is.
So I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna try to make some time this week. There's a lot of stuff that's come out.
There is so much nostalgia factor to it with like the original Clerks and callbacks to Clerks 2, and just it was just powerful thing, I don't know. It was just like a culmination of like his entire lifelong work into this. It was just awesome to see.
Sweet, man. I see we got Good Reel in here. What's up, Brett? Just seen Pearl. Awesome. That is
Lucky.
great. Yeah, I think we're seeing it. I got the tickets. We'll see if we make it on time and pick up Victoria and then go check it out because I'm incredibly excited. I love Ty West. So, Gabe, let's jump into this.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's get started. Box office breakdown. All right. We got Barbarian at number 1, 10.5 million. Finally, something is at 10 million in the past 3 weeks. I feel like we've been looking at the same numbers. Then we got man, I'm gonna butcher this. Brahmastra. Brahmastra. It looks epic. It looks really cool. It's a Bollywood film, or maybe Tollywood. I don't know. It's made a ton of money, 4.5 million. So that's come in at the number 2 spot. Then at the number 3 spot, we saw Bullet Train, which has just crossed 200 million. It's broken even, which is really good for this film because I know they talked about there's a possibility it wouldn't. I'm happy for it. I like this movie. And then we got Top Gun Maverick at the 4th spot, still kicking in there with about 3 million, and then The Invitation with about $2.7 million. So
The Invitation is still kicking, huh?
Yeah, who's seen this movie? I know you did. I haven't heard anything from anybody north of anything really positive, besides a couple of things. Maybe I've seen one person written a positive review, but there's nothing really to see. So people are probably going, "Oh, it's a vampire movie. Let me go see what that's about." And
That's
it.
about it.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
sticks out to you here? What anything else besides the invitation?
Um, Obviously Barbarian. I think if there's one thing that you could think about the box office this year, one thing that's been bankable is horror.
Yes.
How many horror movies throughout this entire year have we seen be number one at the box office opening week? Um,
Yeah.
and it's good, right? Like I think when we spoke with Cody, for a while horror was on the back burner for a lot of studios. They didn't want to make them. All of a sudden now, this past year, it's I think the studios have found out you can make them for cheap, and you get a lot of return on value on your investment for that.
And I want to piggyback off what you said. 20th Century is a studio that I know is getting gobbled up by Disney. But what I like that Disney is doing is that there's a couple of films that they're going, okay, these are testing well. 20th Century clearly had a vision with their horror division. Ready or Not, this film, Antlers, and they're going, let's let them live in theaters. They tested well in early screenings. Let's see what happens. And man, I'm glad they did because I really enjoyed Barbarian. I'm happy that other people are spreading the word and it's finding an audience opening weekend and it's still making money. The Tuesday numbers and the Monday numbers were equally as good. I think it cleared like 2 million each of those days, which is
Right.
really good during the
Well,
week.
I gave them my money on Monday.
And you went on Monday. You finally went to go see it. And I
Yeah.
think that's a testament to the word of mouth. Horror survives on word of mouth. We're going to get into X and obviously Pearl with the new one coming out. And that's a movie that didn't make a ton of money, but word of mouth really carried X. It really did. And now we get the sequel, and we're going to talk about
Was
another.
it was it X word of mouth they really carried it, or was it Kid Cudi Schlong
It
that
was Kid
carried it?
Cudi's schlong. It definitely was, which was ungodly. It was huge. They made it so big and ominous and heroic. Um, but yeah, this is to go back to what you said. Horror has really been delivered. It's always delivered. Horror fans, and it's not just diehard horror fans. General audiences love horror movies. The average Joe will go take his girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever it is. They're gonna go see a horror movie, and what a movie to go see that just completely blind because say what you will like it or dislike it, the movie's an experience. It's weird, it's fucking weird. And I think to its credit it's going to keep
Right.
carrying that. People are going to go check this out. But that's the only story this week really, is that Barbarian made really good money and the other movies are just
And
existing.
Bullet Train. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call it Bullet Train again because I like everybody who knows. Like I love Bullet Train. Like it's
You
my
do.
number one movie of year so far, and I don't care what anybody says. People can come at me, whatever. I just love the whole dynamic Bullet Train, and for it to break even means that there's probably going to be maybe a sequel. Maybe we'll finally get that Tangerine and Lemon
That's
movie
true.
that I've been clamoring for. But yeah, I mean, Bullet Train, it's awesome. So
Yeah, man, that's the box office. Bullet Train crosses 200 million. Barbarian's number one. So, without further ado, let's get into the main topics of the day. And the one that I want to get into first, which we probably should, honestly, is all about D23. D23 is a big expo. It's in Anaheim. A lot of people get invited to this thing, do a lot of coverage. I was on my computer all day trying to do reactions and stuff. And
you
there were some
were.
good, noteworthy things on there. So we'll break into it. We're gonna start off with the Walt Disney panel. I know Brett mentioned it in the chat. Gabe, what stuck out to you from the things that they announced? I'm gonna run down a couple of highlights, and you just give me, just let me know which one sticks out to you. Let me clear that. Um, Little Mermaid, obviously being the big one. That's the internet's all talking about it. We have the Hocus Pocus 2 trailer, which I covered. There's a Princess and the Frog spinoff. Disenchanted finally got a trailer, and I thought that looked wonderful. Uh, Release dates for Mufasa, and Peter Pan and Wendy, which normally I wouldn't be interested in that one, but the director is the same director as Pete's Dragon, so it's got my money.
Right.
And then we also have Wish, which is based upon the Wishing Star, and it's a 2D animated film with some 3D mixed in there. And there was a bunch of other things too. So if there's anything that you don't see here, go ahead and say it. But what really stuck out to you from the Disney live action and animated panel that they did?
To be honest, and I don't mean to be that guy, but it is it's going to be Wish. Reason being for it is it's Hispanic Heritage Month, right? Starting today, and
Yes.
in Wish they're gonna have the first um, Afro Latina princess.
Ariana
So
DeBose, who's incredible in West Side Story. Probably the
right,
highlight of that movie. She's the steals the show. She's incredible.
right. So that sticks out to me because I listen. I may be wearing a Slipknot and be into heavy metal and gangster rap, but as everybody may know, I'm a big softie, and I think that and I follow a lot of the Disney princesses. I'm a
Right.
huge fan of them. So I think that that's awesome. That's awesome for representation. That's awesome for for everybody.
Yeah. And I love that we're going back to 2D. They said 2D's dead. We're not doing 2D. And now they're going, well, just kidding. We're going to combine it with 3D, in which I'm thinking Treasure Planet when they say that a combination of both mediums, which cool. And they have that. And the Princess and the Frog spinoff is also 2D animated, which is a series on Disney Plus. I'm just happy that they're going to do something with that medium. There's a ton of
Yeah, that 2D is
talented,
coming back.
yeah, like I come on, like all these movies from the Renaissance era that we love were 2D animated. It's a medium that still works. Fuck, in Japan, anime is big. It's all 2D animation. Like,
Right.
let's do this. We can still keep this alive. But yeah, I'm with you. That one sticks out to me. I know some people were dunking on it because it's based off of, Disney itself, and all the animated
But
characters
see,
wish upon this star.
people are hating on that, but so many people love like these Hollywood movies that are based on Hollywood, like
Right.
La La Land and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So what's the matter? What's wrong with Disney basing a movie upon its wish star? Right? Every single princess movie, every single movie has a star in it, the wish star.
Keep it in
Like
house.
keep it in house.
Another one I want to touch on. What do you think of this Lion King spinoff? Because it's got a amazing director involved. It's the director of Moonlight, and did he do If Bill Street Could Talk? I'm pretty sure he did. Um, but obviously they have talented people involved, and they had talented people involved in the Lion King, which I think you liked, right?
Yeah, no,
It was like middle of the road for me. I thought the
really
effects were
good.
cool, but it was kind of. But I think everybody involved in this it's got me intrigued. Certainly. What do you think of that one? What are we looking at there?
As far as what I'm looking at, there is I'm not really I'm on the fence about it. I don't think I need a Mufasa movie. I think
Yeah,
I think having a Mufasa movie is gonna like I don't know, like my like Mufasa's death was so impactful that maybe having a prequel about it that it may not work. Like you know, I don't know. I just don't think that I need a prequel of it. Like I know he's dead. I know he was the great Lion King. I don't need to see his story, I guess.
yeah. I think that bringing back Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen is a good call. They were definitely a highlight of that movie. But overall, I think the things that stuck out to me from the Disney panel were certainly playing on nostalgia, and I think that that's something that Disney is called out for. And they're like, oh, they're just doing the same thing. But I think the Hocus Pocus 2 trailer was great. I'm excited for that. I think it genuinely looks funny and it looks good.
It
Uh,
does.
the Princess and the Frog, the little screenshot they showed, awesome. Can't wait to jump back into a 2D animated world. And I mentioned it before, Peter Pan and Wendy, not something I'd be interested in normally because we've done this so many times. And how many times can you adapt this and it still doesn't work? But uh, David, what's his name? The Green Knight director, blanking on me. David Lowery. David
Oh,
Lowery is directing this, and he also did Peach Dragon, which is one that you shouted out last week, which is great. It's a great movie,
it
and to
is.
have him involved, and he's a visionary. The guy is straight up visionary. You're gonna get a unique film here, and I think that's something to look forward to. So those were the things that stuck out to me. Disenchanted looks like a really solid sequel to Enchanted. That's going to be on Disney Plus in November on Thanksgiving, so you know they're going to clean up numbers streaming on Thanksgiving. They're just going to do great because people have been waiting like what feels like 15 years for a sequel to that. So we got that one. And let's move on to, unless you want to touch on Little Mermaid, but I feel like everybody's talked about it so much. What are your thoughts on Little Mermaid? I don't even think I got your thoughts on it.
All right, the cartoon is arguably top three for me.
I'd
Um,
agree. I'd agree.
yeah, especially in that era of Disney cartoons, definitely top three. I think the more I read into it, then the more I guess think about it. It's not that I'm thinking about a 16-year-old, mermaid, but that's what we have here, right? Um, I don't mind, and I know why people are talking about it. I don't mind the casting choice at all, as long as a person could sing,
Which she
right?
can.
Which she can. I, I'm good. I mean, there's been like article pieces and think pieces about this, like, oh well, if she lives in the ocean and she's all the way down at the bottom, there is no sun, so she, that's why she's, black. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, color
I don't
doesn't
care.
matter. Like, I don't
Children,
care.
kids don't care. They don't give a
Kids
shit
don't
about that
care.
stuff. They don't
Like,
care.
they don't. Like, come on, just let it be. As long as her hair is like red, I don't care about anything else. Like, I would say that's like specifically Ariel is just that red hair.
It's the red hair. I saw the extended clip that
The
leaked, and
seashell bra.
yes, there's that. She looks great. Haley Bailey looks great in the role. She sounds great. The movie could be fine. It'll probably be whatever, but the trailer did do its job, and I watched that trailer and I got a little excited just based off her voice alone. And I thought, I'm like, okay, she's great. Like, she's
Right.
super talented. She's gonna nail this. If there's one thing walking out of this movie that I get from it is gonna be that she owned it. And I think of most of the casting choices when it comes to the live action princesses, they nail. If the movie feels lazy, it's from the direction and just copy and pasting
Right.
things from the animated feature.
Because I've said Emma Watson killed it for me as Belle.
I thought she was great. I liked Emma Watson as Belle. But it goes back. There's a crowd of people that think that movie's lazy. And there's another crowd that goes, yeah, but everybody who's saying brought a certain energy to it that made it super, super entertaining. And I'm probably part of that crowd. I thought everybody in it did a great job with the music. And I thought they were so great. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a shot. Certainly, am I tired of these Disney remakes? Yes. I didn't
Yes.
see Pinocchio. You did. You
No.
reported back that you didn't like it. I haven't met one person that did, and I love Zemeckis, but the movie didn't look like something I really wanted to watch. I'd rather wait for Guillermo's feature. So
Okay,
let's
never
move
mind.
on. Let's move on to the Lucasfilm panel, which you're not a big Star Wars guy, but I want to get your thoughts on Willow because I feel like that's the one that you'll probably highlight. Did you check out the Willow trailer?
No, to be honest, I'm gonna try to go blind on Willow. Like, I don't want to hear anything about it. I don't want to see any trailers. I just want to go in blind, because if I don't like the trailer, then I'm gonna be a little bit upset, and then I'm gonna like hate watch Willow. So
So I want to tell you about the Willow trailer because it's fucking awesome. It's awesome. I won't tell
okay,
you what happens in it, but he looks great, and I'm so happy that he's getting this big role in what looks like a super expensive show. This show looks fucking expensive, man, and
oh, it's a
the
show, so it's
visuals.
not gonna be a movie.
It's a limited show.
Okay,
The cast looks awesome. uh Warwick Davis just looks like, yeah, I'm happy to be doing this. This is a role that I'm happy to be back in, and he looks grizzled, and but it's still carrying the same themes as that first movie. The lore, the mythology is all at the forefront, and it looks like it's made by a bunch of people that gave a shit and said, let's do practical effects, let's do CGI, let's do all of it and create this
nice.
big epic. So, as somebody who did not grow up with Willow and saw it later in life, like myself, I'm excited for this show. And I
Yeah,
can't imagine people who did grow up with it because they must be losing their minds because it looks really, really good. And
yeah, I
Disney
grew up with it.
excels when they put all the money and to a creator and say, hey, go ahead and do your thing. And it looks like whoever they have show running this, they took that money and said, we're going to make a great show. We're going to make a great Willow show. And it looks great, man. It really does. It looks really solid. And yeah, if you're avoiding the trailers to go in there, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised if the show turns out to be good, because from all accounts, the footage I saw, I can't imagine. It looks awesome. It looks dazzling, honestly.
That's great to hear. Like I've recounted many times, like, a lot of people, Never Ending Story was like the like of my, people born in the 80s like me and stuff. Never Ending Story has like, it's so huge for them. To me, it was Willow. I when we went to Blockbuster or like the corner store, movie rental place, it was always Willow for me, and I loved Willow, as grown up. So that's why I'm going in blind. That's why I just don't want to, you know.
Keep that excitement up. I'll touch on a couple of things too. Mandalorian looked awesome. Season 3 is coming out in March.
Mhm.
Looks exactly like I want it to be. I want more of the same spaghetti western and space shit. Give it to me. Andor is what I'm excited for. And I know me and you have talked about Andor. I reacted to that footage. I'm really pumped for this show because it looks like HBO level storytelling. I don't care about the action. I want intrigue and space politics and all that stuff. And it looks like that's what they're going to give us. I mean, Rogue One to me is the best Disney Star Wars movie. It's a great war film. It's violent. It's dark. The characters are great. Donnie Yen is awesome in there. And Diego Luna looks like he's going to completely crush this. So Andor looks awesome. I did not see any of the animation stuff. I know I'm not too big into the Star Wars animated stuff. I know some people are. But yeah, I thought the Lucasfilm panel was great. And like everything I heard from it and everything I saw was awesome. I did not see, and I'm pretty sure it was part of the Lucasfilm panel, the Indiana Jones 5 trailer. That was not released to the public. Everybody in attendance did see it, so can't wait for when that pops up online. But we did not get to see that. But I do want to touch on Marvel.
Ooh,
and okay, Marvel has been a little controversial, which is just, the internet. We've talked about this before. Everybody is on one side or the other, and they get mad if they don't get their way.
There's no middle ground. We're going to be that middle ground for everybody. We're going to bring everybody in together.
Yes, we're going to
common ground.
We're going to unite everybody. All right, we're going to unite the seven, just like Justice League.
Yes.
Marvel, nothing really new. We got the Secret Invasion trailer. Looks cool. I'm gonna give it a shot. I like that Nick Fury's at the forefront. Yeah, Daenerys Targaryen's in there. I like her. She's a great actress. But the footage was nice. I don't have many thoughts on that. It's more of like, I know that storyline. It's gonna be interesting to see how they do it, where it's just Shield agents. So, yeah, I'm there for that.
Coming back for that for when you said Shield agents.
He's not. I'm pretty sure Agents of Shield is just not MCU canon. I'm pretty sure Kevin Feige just doesn't consider it canon because he had nothing to do with that. It would be cool, but so we had that, and we had Werewolf by Night, which is something that's been teased forever. So let's talk about Werewolf by Night. Yes. I remember hearing about the show like a year ago, and insiders were saying, "Oh, it's filmed, it's done, it's a special. It'll be like an hour on Disney Plus." And Michael Giacchino directed it, which was like a head scratching because he's a composer. But the footage was awesome. It looked great, and it looks like an old Universal monster movie, which is exactly what that needs to be. There was a Blade cameo that got cut. Blade was supposed to be in this, and I'm guessing Mahershala Ali could not do it. What also is interesting, you see a bunch of those agents from the Loki show as well. So this trailer was cool. What did you think of Werewolf by Night, the footage that we saw?
I think that, like you said, it looks cool. I'm not a big fan of black and white. I think Clerks is the only black and white movie I've seen. And I've probably seen more, but that's the only one I could remember. So this one was really intriguing because of that, because it had, Gael Garcia Bernal, which I think he's an incredible actor. And werewolves, like if you give me a werewolves movie, TV show, I'm gonna watch it. The same thing with vampires. Vampires and werewolves have always been like my two favorite, like supernatural, like do they exist, do they not? Like, sorry, you'll never be able to convince me that werewolves and vampires don't exist. So I love anything werewolves. So I'm definitely excited to see this.
I think it also reminded me of Grindhouse, like a Grindhouse trailer. It had that similar vibe.
Right.
So like, I'm down for this. I'm down that Marvel's doing something unique and different, and going, okay, what's next? Look, we've done a big political thriller. We're doing a sitcom on TV. We've done a teen comedy in No Way Home and Miss Marvel. Like, what's next? What can we do? And horror is the next option. And it looks bloody. It honestly does look violent. And I think that's going to work in its favor.
I think the success of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, as much as it had so many horror elements that worked so well in that movie, that, when they brought in, what's his face from Evil Dead, Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi, yeah.
When they brought in Sam Raimi and he brought in over his horror elements into it, they're like, okay, maybe horror could work for some of our other properties, and then obviously with Blade coming up as well. So now we're having Marvel sort of migrate towards horror and horror movies, because now we're coming up to like the horror superheroes like Blade and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm all for it. And I think this October, man, like just dropping that trailer, going boom, here you go. I like that. I'm really into it. The other things they revealed we didn't get. So like it's not even worth commenting on. They got exclusive footage to Ant-Man, they got exclusive footage to Black Panther. We did get confirmation that Matt Shankman is directing Fantastic Four. So there's that. It's officially confirmed.
So disappointing. So it was a disappointing Marvel panel. Like we were expecting.
But you know what? To go in the defense of Marvel, who told you to expect those things? The internet. Nobody else but the fucking internet.
No, it wasn't the internet that told me. It was when they went to freaking Comic-Con and they had all these question marks over these titles, sort of like they were trying to save whatever they were gonna do for D23. It's like,
and the thing is, what Feige is, he's not going to reveal something unless he's ready. And there was an article that came out after the Fantastic Four stuff from Justin Kroll, and he said Feige's not ready. He did not. They have a short list of Fantastic Four, but Shackman just got hired like a week ago, and they're not going to go ahead and blue ball him. No, he's got to be able to pick whoever he wants to pick. Here's a short list, but if you want somebody else, go ahead and pick your cast. I don't even think the dude's gotten that far in knowing who the Fantastic Four is. So I'm guessing we're probably going to have to wait till the next D23, and we'll find out who they are.
I don't want to wait. I want Fantastic Four and X-Men news like now.
Which is more bad news. X-Men, we're like 5 years away. That was another big thing, is they don't even have a director. They're not even worried. They have a writer attached, and they're mapping out what X-Men can be. But other than that, that's it. Like, there's no news on that. Deadpool 3, we know it's coming. I'm guessing 2025 at the earliest. Sean Levy is busy on Stranger Things. They're trying to make sure that's perfect. That comes to a good close. So, yeah, the Marvel panel, I guess for some people was disappointing. Like, I was a little, not let down, but like, I was like, oh, like they did a big thing last time. I'm shocked, but I was like, whatever. Like, there were some other cool things there too, but the internet definitely, when they get hyped, a bunch of insiders say, oh, I heard this. And then somebody goes, I heard this. And then it's just a bunch of people building up this mythology that just doesn't exist.
Right. How do we become insiders, though? How do we get to be like on the inside?
I want to be an insider, man. I want to go around having like secretive conversations. Like, what have you heard? I heard that Robert Downey Jr. likes this, or like all those things. I would dig that. We would be good as that.
We would be good insiders.
We would. We could do like a good cop, bad cop routine. We could bribe people just for fucking information about superhero movies.
We'd be like the good guys.
But I do want to get into the Fox panel, because I feel like there were some interesting things there. And nothing too big. Oh, this is where they did Indiana Jones. So they showed Indiana Jones here. Everybody got to see that footage. I'm definitely jealous because I'm so excited for that.
I know you are.
They bring it home. Avatar. We've talked about Avatar for what I feel like has been years. And I think the internet, and certainly me as well, I love Jim Cameron. I love his movies. But I've definitely lost patience with, is this man actually making these movies, or is he just talking a bunch of shit?
He's waiting for the technology to catch up to his vision.
Listen, you never doubt Jim Cameron. Never doubt James Cameron. I shouldn't have, because Avatar took 14 years to make, and it turned out like, say what you will about the story, but it's a visual wonder. It was an experience in theaters that I remember, certainly. Everybody at the convention was able to see exclusive footage. I believe 3 separate scenes from Avatar 2, along with the announcement that Avatar 4 is filming officially. And Avatar 2 has been filmed in this new technology. They're using 3D. James Cameron said, hey, it's become a choice, so I know a lot of people don't use it as an option, but here, this is going to make you love 3D. And they've messed around with different formats in terms of the frames per second and a bunch of crazy technological things. What's really exciting is hearing what everybody has been saying coming out of that panel, that Avatar 2 looks mesmerizing. It looks like something you've never seen before. So what's your excitement level for Avatar 2? Like, I don't know, man. Like, that trailer was great, but I think I'm ready to hop back into Pandora. I really am.
My excitement level is at about a 20 out of 10 on this. I've been hyped. This is one of these things like I eat a lot of crow for, because when Avatar first came out and it was like the hottest commodity going to the theaters, I was like, fuck that movie. You know, at that point in my life, I was not about to jump on any freaking fad. Like I was
You're
like
contrarian.
I was a contrarian. I was like an anti-consumerism, fascist type person. Yeah, I still watch movies, but like stuff like that was hyped up, like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Avatar, which
Right.
all came out almost in that same era. I was like, fuck these movies, so I didn't go see them. But then I caught it. It was like TBS, like middle of the thing or whatever, or TNT, and I was like, okay, this is cool, maybe. So then I rented it and I saw it on shitty DVD, and I was like, okay, this was awesome. And then I saw it in Blu-ray, and I was like, oh my god, this was fucking amazing. And then so anyways, I am so just hyped up on this movie. I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to go back to the theaters at the end of the month where they're re-releasing it
I'm going.
in 3D. I'm gonna finally see this movie in theaters.
And
So
what's cool is you get to see it in a way that nobody else has seen it before because he's adjusted the technology and re-edited scenes from the first movie to fit the technology of the second movie.
right,
So you're seeing a whole new version of Avatar in theaters for the very first time. Like there's been other re-releases, but this is the first time James Cameron has definitely touched the footage and gone, okay, how can we tweak this and change that and make it visually just as stunning as it can
right.
be.
Well,
So
the other re-releases just has been so that they could reclaim number
they're
one at
just
the
the
box
number one
office.
spot, just being
Right.
dickheads. Yeah, just like, all right, let's have Avengers came out. Let's go ahead and re-release it again.
But Campy
Um,
Knight there makes he's like he was 6 years old. He was a sixth grader.
it took him
Um,
12 years, a fucking sixth grader, to make the first one. Yeah, that's a whole sixth grader right there. Yeah, it took him 12 years.
12
Uh,
years, man. I was in my 20s still.
Man, that makes sense though, because I was in middle school. I was in eighth grade when the first movie came out. Now I'm 26.
Ooh,
So I was I was like 13, 14, and yeah. I'm excited. Hey, I think this is going to be really, really visually stunning. Even if we'll see about the story, he's taken forever, and they're gambling. This is a whole gamble. They've already shot all the other movies, so we're stuck with these. Like they have to be good. They have to be great. So
and you
I'm
said it.
excited.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. Just give me more Pandora.
Give me Pandora. Gabe, let's move on. We have a couple of other stories that we haven't even touched on. But I feel like we're making good time. We're halfway through the show. Babylon. I've been talking about Babylon. I've been like praising, just like super excited because I love Damien Chazelle and I love La La Land and Whiplash. We talked about it on the show last week. We have our first trailer. Starts off with Margot Robbie snorting the Paramount logo. Gabe, did you see the trailer for Babylon?
I did see the trailer for
What did
Babylon.
you think? Because you're not big into the old timey movies.
No, I'm not big into old timey movies set in old timey,
Right.
England or old timey America or whatever it may be
Right.
old timey.
Right.
But this looks fun.
Yeah, I was
Uh,
shocked by the tone. I was not expecting it to be full out like weird, like comedy. It reminds me, it's got Wolf of Wall Street things going on with it.
Right. And then you're pairing Margot Robbie and Brad Pitt together again, even though they weren't really in scenes in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood together.
Right.
But they were still both in that movie. And Brad Pitt right now, he's on a fucking upswing. Bullet
He is.
Train, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This movie just looks like it's right up his alley. It looks like he's playing a version of himself. Like I feel like that's him in the sense. I don't know.
Yeah, he's playing this aging star, and it's near the end of the silent era, beginning of the talkies. So I think that's such a cool era. I can't think of other movies that have really covered that transitional period with jazz. And
Right.
Damien Chazelle loves jazz, and that's in here. I can only think of Singing in the Rain. That's the only other movie I could think of that really touches upon all those things, except this is hard R. There's a bunch of drugs and orgies and
I did see that.
fighting
I saw
snakes.
I saw the
Yeah.
UK version of this trailer. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw the UK one, but there was topless. I'm like, why? They're watching topless trailers in the UK? They're like years ahead of us.
Yeah, they're years ahead. You know, they're having a pint, hanging out at the bar and or the pub, and watching this. I think, yeah, they put out a unedited version of the trailer and then a theatrical version. And the unedited version is the one that I watched, and it looks stunning. It really does. It really does. It really looks different, and I was not expecting this tone. I
And
really
Tobey Maguire's back
Toby
to acting.
Maguire looks crazy in this, um, but I'm all for it. And we know this is supposed to be the big magnum opus. Like a lot of insiders are saying, they're shocked that Paramount let him make this movie. So it's hard R. It's a tragic comedy
Right.
story about Hollywood, and I'm all for it. This
We
combines everything I love.
right. We go back to, people acclaim Hollywood movies about Hollywood, but yet hate Disney movies about Disney.
Yeah,
It's
it's all the same. But yes, I think Damon Chazelle is such a fantastic director, and he excels when he's doing things that he loves, and that has to do with jazz and the story of Hollywood.
right. And
And La
Margot
La
Robbie
Land is
is arguably one of the best female actresses going on right
she's
now.
incredible, and
She
I
is.
think she's on that short list of talent that you just go, oh, she's going to do something unique. She's going to do something different with I Tanya, with this Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Barbie.
My bad. Let me go ahead and take that off. Uh, yeah,
Don't
I'm
forget
pumped,
Barbie.
man. Barbie. I mean, who can forget? We're excited for Barbie. So
She
that is
could be Sue
Babylon.
Storm.
She could be if she wanted to, if she wasn't already Harley Quinn. I feel like you could
Yes.
cast her in anything and she'll do great. Here's another one. It's also about the history of Hollywood in a way.
Yay.
The Fablemans. The semi-true story of Steven Spielberg. He changes the names, he takes some liberties, but another movie I've heard nothing but wonderful things coming out of Toronto Film Festival, Toronto International. Uh, I'm excited. This trailer kind of it got me. That I think it looks emotional, and I think it's crazy. A lot of his movies are about divorced parents, and now you get to see why. Like there's some deeply rooted shit going on there. But I think Michelle Williams looks awesome in this, and I love that Seth Rogen's in this too, just flexing his dramatic chops. So
Yeah.
what did
Oh
you
yeah.
think?
Okay, so I did see the trailer because I know you
Okay, I should
mentioned
have
it.
asked you that. Yeah, I should have asked you
I know you mentioned it last week, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm okay about Steven Spielberg biopic.
that.
But I did see the trailer right before I hit the shower before you came on live, and I was like, all right, I don't know if I'm gonna go to the movie theaters to see this type of movie for me, but it's definitely one that I will check out. I am gonna see. I feel like the more we do this show, the more my preferences in movies have changed.
Good.
You know what I'm
Good.
saying? Like
Yeah.
this wouldn't be something that I would proactively go seek out and try to watch. The same thing with Babylon, the same thing with some of these other movies
Right.
that you've made me watch, over many iterations of the show. And so, but this one is one that I'm gonna see it at home. Like I said, I'm not in the movie theaters, but I'll see it at home. It looks
So you
interesting
could
enough for me
cry
to check it out.
privately. I get you. You want to cry privately.
No, I don't.
Safety.
I have no problems crying in public. I did that last night for Clerks 3. Your tears coming out. Come on now.
I do want to mention, Campy Knight says the artist. Yeah, the artist was. I like the artist. I know a lot of people were like, why did that one Best Picture? I enjoyed it. I thought it was charming. It's not a movie I revisit certainly, and
That was a silent film, right?
It was pretty much about the silent era.
That's where I'm going to draw the line. That's where I'm going to draw the line. Is I'm not watching any silent films.
It's a cute film. Not that bad. Hey, Connor, how's it going, man? Excited to have you on. Excited for you to come on the show. That's going to be a great day.
Connor's been watching Monday Night Football.
Connor has
Thursday
been
Night Football.
He's been the best. He's the best. All right, but I know I blocked him too by accident.
You blocked him.
All right, let's get on to the next one, and this is one I know we're both excited about. At TIFF, after they premiered Pearl to the festival attendants, Ty West came on stage. He brought Mia Goth, who co-wrote Pearl, which I had no idea she co-wrote that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is great.
She's so talented.
She's incredible.
She is.
And they premiered a little teaser for Maxine, the third film in this trilogy. Dude, Ask, what's your opinion? What do you think? I'm excited. This is awesome, and it's great that A24 has so much confidence in Ty West and says, "Oh yeah, we'll just give you all the money in the world to make this strange and weird trilogy you want to make."
Listen, A24, and I know A24. There's people that hate them. There's people that love them. I personally, I'm on the loving side, but A24 is killing it this year.
They killed it this year.
They're like, this year is the year of A24.
I agree.
Anyways, Maxine looks so fun. It's gonna. Well, I think it's set in the '80s. That Maxine title card reminds me of, for some reason, the Maximum Overdrive title card.
It does, yeah.
So I definitely it's gonna be awesome.
I am ridiculously jacked, and Ty West is a guy I've been waiting. I'm like, why doesn't he make more movies? He's got such a great filmography.
Because he's doing a trilogy.
Well, before obviously years ago, I was wondering when I first saw House of the Devil, I was like, who is this guy? And I've liked all his movies. I like The Innkeepers, and House of the Devil is on my list of favorite horror movies of all time. I just really, really loved that film. So I enjoyed X. Me and you watched it together. We had a great time. We were cackling and just having the best
holding
time.
Hands.
Holding hands. Yeah, all those things. The alligator scene. I was looking at Gabe and Victoria and just couldn't believe how far they were going with it. And they were so confident in the filmmaking. And I just really enjoy X. And Pearl looks like I'm probably going to enjoy Pearl even more.
I know. I can't wait for Saturday.
Pearl, I'm excited. Pearl speaks to the things I love about movies and the technicolor of Hollywood in the 1940s and 50s. So, like, I think this is going to be awesome. It looks like The Wizard of Oz with a bunch of kills. So, and Maxine, I would love, because I have no idea where they're going with the story. I would love if they take a book, a chapter out the book of Brian De Palma and De Palma's body double. I mentioned this on Twitter. Body double has a lot to do with the porn industry. It's pretty much 1980s Hitchcock, and it's awesome. It's great. And I think that I wouldn't be shocked if Ty West is going that route.
Or maybe he goes the Debbie Does Dallas route, somebody new and somebody new and like a new starlet goes into a new city and just decides to do the entire city. Or what if
Maxine becomes the killer because she doesn't like a new starlet is taking the spotlight?
Well, she is already a confirmed killer, right?
Yeah. And it'll just be the process repeating itself. Pearl did it to Maxine, and Maxine does it to somebody else. Who knows? Whatever it is, I don't care. I'm excited because Ty West is so talented. The dude is just, he knows, he's so confident in his filmmaking.
Yes.
Love him or hate him, technically speaking, when you watch his movies, you go, oh man, this is a guy that just loves directing, and he knows where to put the fucking camera. So I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. And we got Sky Settle tonight. Look at the legend himself. The legend theirself. Why are people freaking out over the fictional character of the Little Mermaid? I don't know. You're gonna have to ask them.
Ask them.
I have no idea, man. I think it looks good. If it's bad, it's bad. If anything, the movie looks like a regular old Disney live action remake. But I think Haley Bailey is talented. I think her voice she's gonna do good. So. Here's a movie I'm kind of low-key really excited for, and that's I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Dance with somebody.
I showed Gabe the trailer in Victoria. Whitney Houston was big in my house growing up, and my grandmother's house. My grandfather was obsessed with The Bodyguard. I watched that so many times as a kid, and he loves that movie. I don't know how many times we've watched that movie.
Love you.
You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
And going out to the Chicago bars, Whitney was always the last song. Bar hopping from Wrigley, Deuces, wherever you were at, they always played I Want to Dance with Somebody at the end of the night. So who doesn't love that song? It's one of the greatest songs of all time. But the trailer looks solid. And I know we've talked about biopics end up always being the same. But I think Whitney's story is a story I want to see. All the things with Bobby Brown. I like
I
that
don't
stuff.
think you're gonna get that stuff. Listen.
Her family is involved in this, and I think
it's gonna be a fluff piece.
But
when family is involved, it's gonna be a fluff piece.
You know what? What did Whitney do that was so wrong? She did things to herself, obviously, but she should be celebrated. She should be celebrated because she's one of the greatest singers of all time. And
I think Mariah Carey's better. But
That's
yeah,
bullshit.
Mariah
Bullshit.
Carey is better. I'm sorry.
Bullshit.
Mariah
And
Carey
you know what?
over
I'm
Whitney
sick and
Houston.
tired of
Mariah
every year.
Carey over Whitney Houston.
No, November
No.
1st, they just play that song like that. All right. Just wait a couple days. I like the song too. I love that song. But
That's
why
not
is it
that.
November?
She had One Sweet Day with Boys the Men.
Listen, she also had
Breakdown with
what
Bone
was that
Thugs and
movie?
Harmony.
Glitter. She had
Heartbreak with
Gabe's favorite
Jay-Z.
movie, Glitter. Glitter with Mariah Carey. One of the worst movies.
Better than Whitney Houston. Give me a Mariah
Bullshit.
Carey biopic.
Do not do this. Not on Whitney Houston's day. What did you think of this trailer?
Listen, Whitney Houston's Super Bowl performance still gives me chills. The way that she sang the national anthem, for that to be in the movie, and it's still even in the movie, gave me chills. And I think that I'm going to be excited to see this. I mean, Whitney Houston is arguably, like you said, one of the greatest singers of our generation. Mariah Carey's still better, but anyways, I'm so excited. I'm excited to see this. Definitely. Give me some Bobby Brown. Maybe give me a little bit of cocaine action. Because I mean, come on. If you're gonna tell somebody's story, it has to be warts and all.
I think if they do just enough, because I know the family's involved, they're gonna do like Elvis touches on the Elvis stuff just enough. It doesn't gloss over it, but it's PG-13, so they'll hint at it.
But the issue is not the issue, but the problem for me is that the same guy that did Bohemian Rhapsody is doing this one.
He wrote it, but the director, I'm blanking on her name, but she's a great director. She did that Harriet Tubman movie from a couple years ago too. So she's really, really good, and I think I saw that too. That's my only hesitation.
Because he didn't go all the way in with Freddie Mercury the way that Rami Malek wanted him to go, right? And I feel like that's the writer's going to have that same type of issue with Whitney Houston, where he's going to touch upon it, but it's not going to go all the way into like the domestic violence. I mean, we all know the stories of Bobby Brown.
We see Bobby; he's in the trailer. You see the back of his head at the wedding, and that's about it. I don't even know who's playing.
And like I said, I don't need to see the physical altercations between Whitney and Bobby, but I want some acknowledgement. You
want to see her rise up through that stuff, and yes, I get you. And there's another movie that does touch upon those things, which doesn't do much of a fluff piece. It gives the guy redemption a little bit. The James Brown biopic, Get On Up. They straight up show him scenes of committing domestic violence. In a movie that's very cheerful and does a bunch of creative things, it also shows the dark side of James Brown, too. Right. So if they could touch on that, where Whitney was a person and she did go through things that none of us have gone through. Right. And if they were able to cover that, that would be cool.
Like any time family is involved, it's gonna be more than likely a fluff piece. Like
Tupac movie. Yeah.
The Tupac movie, right? The Biggie movie. The Selena movie, right? I know Sky Silent Night said should they release another Selena movie again? But the problem is
that first one's so good.
The first one's so good. But it's a fluff piece.
It is.
The family was involved. So
I get your point. I think I almost said Walk Hard because that movie has ruined biopics for everybody. It's ruined biopics for everybody. But Walk the Line touches on the dark stuff in Johnny Cash's life too.
Right.
Great film.
It's almost like the perfect biopic
structure of what a biopic should. Yeah.
Right. La Bamba is one of the best.
La Bamba that's the only one that doesn't really have like a rise and fall. It's just Richie was on the rise and something fucking terrible happens.
It's like a rise and death.
It's rise and death, which is another fantastic film.
It touches on domestic violence, like
with
Bob, and it touches on all those stuff. And that's what, like I said, that's what I want. Give me somebody with warts and all, just do it like how they were. Like we're all human. We all have our downs. We all have, our,
redemption and all those things. And Naomi Ackie, she looks great as Whitney. I'm really excited for this actress, and I love when you see somebody that you don't know much of, they get a big role, like Austin Butler, who, whatever side of the fence you fall on with that movie, you walk away going, oh, that dude rules, and you can't wait to see what he does next. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Stanley Tucci is always also in the trailer. I always love Stanley Tucci. I mean, who doesn't? So let's move on. Whitney, I Want to Dance with Somebody. It's coming to a theater near
Camping
you.
Nights at Pimpo versus Larry Flint.
Okay, we have Avengers: Secret Wars. Where I'm rating Coogler might direct this. He's on the short list. What do you think about Ryan Coogler directing Avengers: Secret Wars? Is that something you
Uh,
might be interested in?
he could do whatever the hell he wants. He's a great director.
Yes, I agree.
The Creeds, Black Panther.
Yeah,
He wants to direct my biopic. He could do it. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic choice to do it.
I hesitate because I love Ryan Coogler and I think he's a talented guy. And Creed, in my top 20 of the 2010s probably. He killed it. Fruitvale Station, amazing. He is so talented. Black Panther was awesome. I don't know if I want him stuck in the Marvel machine this long. I don't know how he's still in there this long. He's a guy that should be moving on and doing other great things. And I'm excited to see him do different stories and the camera angles and the things that he's able to do as a director. Like, he's so unique and he's a unique voice. I like this, and he's
But
probably the perfect guy.
It's that Marvel money,
No,
bro.
it's the sweet Marvel money, and he's the perfect guy for the job, 100%, because he's a great director. I don't know. I feel like I'd rather see him go off and do something different.
But
Maybe after Secret Wars, go off and do stuff that's not Marvel.
When you do great stuff for Marvel, like Coogler has, right, with Black Panther, we're gonna see Black Panther 2, but from all those trailers that we saw, it looks like it's on par with the first one. Yeah. It looks amazing. But you have to think about it, right? What's his face? Taika Waititi. I would butcher his name.
Taika Waititi.
He was stuck in the Marvel machine, right? The Russo brothers were stuck in the Marvel machine.
The Russo brothers can't get out of the Marvel machine because every movie they're attached to, everybody just audibly groans. Like, there's like, oh, like, why are they a part of this? Right. Just, you don't want that to happen. Like, if you don't want that to happen,
but they are. They were stuck with the Avengers. Did they do one of the Captain Americas? I forget.
They did the Winter Soldier and they did Civil War. Both I really like. I like both of those.
Right. So obviously, he's gonna be stuck in it. I hope that he doesn't get, like you said, Russo brothered when he tries to do something else. It's like, oh, why is he doing this? But like you said, I think he's perfect for Avengers, Secret Wars, which I love the comic book. So
I think that's a great run, and I'm excited that they're finally doing Secret Wars. We know everybody's going to be a part of that, and it's a great story. And Jonathan Majors, can't wait for him as Kang. I can't wait. And Ant-Man 3, him being a major player in all this, can't wait. I think he's a fantastic actor. Another guy that I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see him just explode onto the mainstream and do something great.
Right.
So that was Secret Wars. I'm excited. I'm excited for anything Marvel. I feel like there's been a couple of things that I haven't been too big on. I didn't think Thor was great. I didn't think it was as bad as people said it was, but I'm like, it's certainly not a movie I'll revisit soon. But I think they want to nail Secret Wars. They have to. They don't want to fuck it up, and I think that's good. This is a story I'm interested in, Gabe. This is called The Iron Claw, and it's from A24. It's got Jeremy Allen White from The Bear, which is a show I really, really dug. Zac Efron and Harris Dickinson, and it's about the Von Erich brothers and their rise and fall in wrestling. And from what I know, their story is incredibly tragic. So I'm happy Zac is doing something like this. We've been talking. I said Zac Efron needs a role that is just stellar. And A24, Zac Efron, Jeremy White's one of the best working actors right now. The guy needs something like this. So you put all these guys in a movie and a premise that I'm really intrigued by, I'm there.
Right. I love old school wrestling. The Van Erichs, very tragic story. Anybody who's a wrestling fan from 70s and 80s, definitely knows about the Van Erichs and the tragedy that they have. I think there's only like one surviving brother.
I'm pretty sure there's only one surviving brother.
Yeah. So it's definitely, how Connor said, it's fucking tragic. So yeah, I'm excited, and I love Jeremy White. Since Shameless, he's he's always brought his A game in that show, and now with the Bear, you made me watch the Bear, and I was like, all right, this show's pretty good. So
I like him. He's
I
good.
like him.
There's a quality to him that's very old school, like
To me,
old school New York acting.
So obviously he hasn't done that many movies, right? But and he's done this with TV shows. But I feel like Jeremy White has just this face for movies. Like I feel like he belongs in movies instead of like TV shows.
Right.
And so I'm excited for him to get this chance with Iron Claw.
Yeah, no, he's got this face for he's got like this De Niro Pacino thing going on. I can't like put my finger on it quite, but there's this every role he's done is like grizzled, and like there's comedy and he's charming, but he's kind of just really grizzled in a way, like world weary. And
like, he looks like he's been an alcoholic his entire life, and then he just got sober, and he's just like stuck in fucking traffic in the car, and he just wants a fucking drink and a smoke, and he can't fucking have one. Like that's how he looks like in every single role, from Shameless.
In every role.
I thought that was just him being in Shameless, and they made him look like that. But like you see him in pictures, like outside of work, and he looks fucking sane.
He just looks, and even the Bear is just the most anxiety-driven character ever.
So he also has a very punchable face. Like I said, I like Jeremy White, but he has a very punchable face. Like if I saw him in public, I'd be like, dude, can I punch you? Like,
I suppose.
I love him.
But yes, I think this is a great project for all these guys to be a part of. Zac Efron especially. I can't wait for the greatest beer run ever. I'm really excited for that. And I think that he's one of those guys, every year I go, he just needs that one movie.
He does.
Just that one movie, man.
He needs a superhero movie, though, too.
Yeah, I think franchise in general. Any kind of franchise. He just needs a franchise, but I think he needs a great character piece. And this excites me. Here's one I'm on the fence on, and I feel like this is going to be a hard sell from you, but I'm going to pitch it to you anyway. We got another Elvis movie. Sofia Coppola, a director who I think is immensely talented. I love Lost in Translation. I enjoyed the Bling Ring. So she's done some things I really enjoy. And we have this cast right here of Kaylee Spaney from Bad Times at the El Royale. She was awesome in that. We also have Jacob Elordi from Euphoria, and he's a really good actor. Both of these kids are. They're great, and this is based on Priscilla Presley's memoirs. Mm-hmm. So it's from her point of view. I like that. I like that idea. I don't know if the time is now to make this movie. I feel like, one, Jacob's going to live in the shadow of the performance Austin Butler just gave, and that's going to be a tough thing to follow up. But I don't know. I don't know if there's genuine, is this something people are interested in? Do they want to see Priscilla Presley story? Maybe. Yeah, but I know Sophia's like style. It's not going to appeal to old people. Like she makes movies that are very quiet and slow.
Are they gonna talk about Elvis Screwman, his cousin since he was like 12?
If there's one director that'll probably do it, it'll probably be Sofia Coppola. She'll probably work that in there. Yeah.
Honestly, you know how I feel about Elvis. I could give a flying fuck about Elvis. And we're probably going to lose some subscribers for that, but whatever.
I like Elvis. I love Elvis. I know you guys done some weird shit. I think everybody knows that. But I don't know. I don't have much interest. I think everybody here is talented. I just don't know if this is something.
Right. Obviously the cast is talented. I just don't care for the subject matter. And I know it's going to be an A24 film. I still am like, nope, that's the one. That's going to be the A24 movie I'm going to probably miss out on.
Hey, so there you go. Anybody that's been excited about this movie, we just ripped on it. We're not excited.
Which brings the point, though, right? Because, everybody's like, oh, you guys always talk so positively about movies.
Right. I've heard that so many times. Which I got to say, anything I don't like, I just really don't like talking about it. Like, even when we did the review of Morbius or Texas Chainsaw, you think I wanted to sit here and just talk shit about movies and directors?
Yeah, you did. Because you talk shit about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 all the damn time.
No, I don't. I was pretty fair in our unreleased video, which I was. Which the only reason that's not going to ever go up, I just can't get it edit right. I just couldn't find a way to edit it in a way that worked.
And then you talk even more shit about Jason X, the video that we were
100%. I did. I think that movie is not good.
There you go. There you go.
So,
It's the
so
best Jason movie.
so you prove my point that maybe I'm just not positive all the time. I'm enthusiastic about what I like, but there are some things that I don't like. So there's some things there that I feel like, all right. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not all that interested in this, even
No,
though I think everybody a part of it is immensely talented. So I'll check it out for them, but
I
who
wouldn't even
knows?
check it out for them.
I'll check it out for you. Let's move on to something that honestly I really like what Netflix is doing. Every year, Netflix is putting out like these family-oriented horror comedy things. Um, I really like that. Last year they did Hoobie Halloween, which was charming. I don't think it was great or anything, but it was definitely charming, and I like the spooky, like sort of Halloween atmosphere they went for. Now we have this movie called The Curse of Bridge Hollow with Marlon Wayans, and it's pretty much about fucking Halloween decorations coming to life. Gabe, did you see the trailer to this, and what did you think?
I saw the well, I saw the trailer, and Marlon. I just love Marlon Wayans. You know, you had me with Marlon Wayans. I've always said the Wayans brothers, from Keenan all the way to Marlon. I just think they're comedic, gold. They're one of the funniest families in Hollywood.
Right.
Uh, so Marlon is awesome. So I can't wait to see this.
This looks shockingly fun, and it looks like Netflix put some real money into this.
Right.
It looks like honestly, like if you like movies like Hocus Pocus and Goosebumps, yeah, I'm there. Like it looks like a really
Right.
neat Netflix watch, and I'm down for it.
Which is, people like to shit on Netflix a lot for their
Oh,
shitty
real quick, I
movies.
also want to shout out another movie that they did similar caliber, Vampires in Brooklyn or Brooklyn versus Vampires. That was fun. That was 2 years
Yeah.
ago too. So they've been doing this every year. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I just wanted to say that people shit on Netflix all the time for their movies, which I get, right? Some of their movies are really bad, but I don't know. Netflix usually kills it for the holidays, like their Christmas movies, right? Some of them, like the Christmas Chronicles, instant classic, right? With Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn and
People
stuff like
love
that.
that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and so with like you said, these Halloween family fairs, like I understand as horror people, we want the shit to be like super fucking scary for Halloween. But the kids they need a little scares and a little here and there, and that's awesome that
And
Netflix does
also a
it.
movie that we can be entertained by and watch with kids, like
Yeah.
parents can and siblings, all that. I want to touch on this because Connor brought it up, and I did know this. Can you believe this guy was almost Robin? Crazy. He was almost Robin, and he still gets checks for almost being Robin.
Who, Marlon?
Marlon Wayne still receives money for almost being Robin. And sorry, my voice is just giving up. My throat is just so dry. But I think he would have been solid in the interpretation they were going with. And it would have been different. There's a great comic book called Batman '89, and what they do is it's a sequel to the Burton movies, and they use the likenesses of the actors. So Marlon Wayans technically does exist as Robin if you pick up Batman '89, which is a really cool comic book. Billy D. Williams is you see his completed arc as Two-Face in that too.
Right.
And Christina Ricci was the I believe the inspiration for Batgirl in that. But she doesn't really look like her.
So
But
they're all getting money.
yeah, so it's a cool comic book, but yes.
So
Marlon
Batman
Wayans,
'89, not to be confused with Batman '69 with Harley Quinn.
not Batman '69.
Okay.
Oh, real quick, let's touch on this. Do you think Hellions will rule Halloween season streaming this year? Probably.
No.
I think so. I
No.
mean, they're putting it on Peacock, man. So many people. The numbers last time people watched it on there. So
Yeah, but that's about it.
I think more people want to see this in theaters. And I would say most people I know are seeing it in theaters. Maybe my parents or something will watch it on Peacock. But I think the movie definitely needs its time in theaters. I think it'll certainly do great numbers.
It'll do
just
great
like last
numbers
year.
for Peacock. But I mean, I think what we got to ask ourselves is the quality going to be there, and we'll see. That's the question.
We'll see. I'm excited. I don't want to make it seem like we're not excited for Halloween. It's certainly not me. I'm excited.
I know you are. I know you and Victoria are excited.
I want to wait and see. That's it. I'm not gonna go. There's certain movies where I watch a trailer like Babylon. And yeah, of course, Babylon's gonna be good to great. We look at Pearl or all these other movies, and I know it's gonna be good to great. And I love David Gordon Green. just don't know about Halloween Ends. I haven't really seen anything that's in the marketing or the very little marketing they've given us that has me excited. So, um, all right, real quick, Gabe, I got to wrap this up because I got to go pick up Victoria and we got to see Pearl. Let's speed run through these last few things. Real quick, House of the Dragon. It is awesome right now. It's
Yes.
probably my favorite show on TV at the moment. I fucking love this show. And every week it is delivering. I know you love it too. What do you think of the actor change up? Are you ready for it? I mean,
No.
I think these two are so good. They're so good as Rhaenyra and Allison. They are awesome.
I'm not ready to let them go. Like you said, I think they're awesome. As Rhaenyra and whatever
Lady
they are.
Allison, right? Lady
Lady
Allison,
Allison.
right? Yes.
Um,
So good.
so I'm not ready for them to change because I know that now they're going to be older. So you know,
Yeah, I'm not ready for the time jump, but at the same time, I know the next round, the next two actresses taking over are going to do great, and they're going to do great with the material. But there's a bit of attachment, and I think that's good on the show that they were able to get us attached to these characters very quickly.
Yes.
So I'm excited. I know we've been talking forever. We want to do an after show. I feel like it's so hard because we're trying to make sure the Tuesday show is so fucking good.
It is.
But you could check out mine and Gabe every so often. I've been putting reactions to certain episodes. So if you're a fan of House of the Dragon, check that out. And real quick, Gabe, we got the new releases. See how they run. The Woman King, Pearl, and one that is not featured here is Clerks 3. Obviously, that's a limited release. You already saw Clerks 3.
Yes.
And I know you're seeing Pearl. Any of those other ones stick out to you? Are you have any interest?
Woman King, I have interest, but not interest enough to go to the theaters. So I'll check out Woman King when it comes out to streaming.
I think I'm going to try to see it. I'm going to try to go on a day off.
So Sunday. You're going to try to see Pearl, Clerks 3, and The Woman King. And
I'm seeing see how they run tomorrow at noon. I have some time tomorrow. When I drop off Victoria, there's a 12:15 screening. So I should be able to check that out and make it back in time to do other things.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to see The Woman King Sunday. And obviously Pearl, we're about to go check that out. So I'm excited. Gabe, real quick, anything else that you want to touch on that we got coming up, or anything that we didn't touch on tonight that you want to touch on?
No. The only thing is, our next Tuesday will be. I'll let you handle that because you introduce the guest and their special movie. All I'm going to say is, I'm going to promote my TikTok.
Please do.
At Capital Cookie, if you guys haven't. Oh no, I'm sorry, Flopbuster. It's Hispanic Heritage Month. So I'm gonna run this down real quick. I'm showcasing 31 movies, one a day, of my favorite Hispanic movies that have really touched upon me and not changed my life, but life changing, I guess. But yes, the first one's up today, and it was Blood In, Blood Out. So I talk about Blood In, Blood Out on TikTok,
and it's on the YouTube Shorts as well.
It's on the YouTube Shorts as well.
We're putting it up on both, so follow Gabe for that. It's also on Facebook, so you're posting those everywhere. Really cool. So we're going to have those on here, on Gabe's channel, on the TikTok channel. Thank you to the chat, everybody that watched tonight. I saw the numbers jumping back and forth like crazy. So I have no idea who really watched, but Campy Night and Not That Bad and Good Reel was in here. And Andrew, thank you for stopping by. Yeah, Barbarian I would check out Barbarian.
Check it out.
Sick.
It's great.
It is sick. Tuesday. I feel like I'm running a fucking mile for some reason.
Because you're here into something, you gotta go pick up Victoria.
I'm going quick. I know I'm like 14 minutes late. Okay, so
overtime for her.
I know. To the Tuesday show, we really have been ramping it up, and we want it to be something that people want to watch. And as much as we want to talk about bad movies or random movies or whatever it is, we want you guys to be a part of it. So this past Tuesday was awesome, and the Tuesday before that was awesome with Leo. And this next Tuesday, we're going to have Destiny from Fear Freaks and Final Ghouls, and she's from Back from the Dead with Brett on the Good Reel channel, and we're going to be talking about Jennifer's Body. So I'm going to pull up a graphic real quick, and this is the date that we're looking at with Destiny. That's September 20th. You'll be able to join us back here. We're gonna break down Jennifer's Body, Karen Kusuma's cult classic. I've been watching a bunch of Karen Kusuma movies. She's got a small filmography, but really solid. I watched Destroyer today. I watched The Invitation the other day, and I know she did Girl Fight, which I haven't seen in years, but I really do enjoy that one
Girl
too.
Fight with Michelle Rodriguez.
Yes, she did.
Awesome movie.
That's a great film.
Great
The only one I have not seen is Aeon Flux. So
I'll watch that because Charlize Theron.
Yeah, I remember the commercials.
In that tight bodysuit.
I remember that as a kid, and that's it. I've never watched that movie. Just
it wasn't called Flopbuster back when I watched it. It was called Fatbuster.
But we want every Tuesday to be like this.
Yes.
So, two things I want to impose, and we'll see how this goes down. One, I've been talking with Gabe for the main show, taking calls in, and we'll figure out how we do that. Commenters can call in, kind of like a radio show, and we'll do that near the end. One of my favorite shows, the Schmoes Know Movie Show, when they were doing the show back in like 2012, they would do the call-ins, and it was great. It was awesome, and maybe we'll test that. But I think Tuesday is going to stay as the My Favorite Movie formula with a different guest every single Tuesday. So when My Favorite Horror Movie ends, we're not going to end it there. We're going to go right into My Favorite Christmas Movie, and we'll have more information about that. We'll probably put out some sketch video like I did with the Pete the Skeleton. We'll do something similar, and maybe me and Gabe can shoot something. And then for non-holiday stuff, it'll just be My Favorite Movie. So if there's any YouTuber, podcaster that you guys think would be perfect for the show, let us know, and we'll try.
And like tag with like one of our episodes on like Twitter, or whatever, and be like, look, go on this show. These guys are awesome. These guys interview really good. We got last episode for with Cody with the thing. A couple people.
I want to say real quick, Cody is one of the coolest guys that has been. We haven't had too many people on the show, but like I chatted with him through text and whatnot. But when you meet him, the guy is just so quick and knowledgeable and funny, and he honestly was just talking the whole show. Like we didn't have to say anything, which is the whole formula of the show anyway. Right. Letting the guest take the spotlight. He's so good at it, and we're so thankful that he came on, and we just want that every Tuesday. Yeah. So Destiny, we're excited for her because Jennifer's Body, I know she loves that movie, and I think it's a really cool film.
And Gabe I love Jennifer's Body as well.
But Karen Kusuma is an interesting director, so I'm excited for that. And we wanted to deliver that level of entertainment every Tuesday. So the Thursday show will always stay the same. We love doing the news. But Tuesday show, I think, is going to move into that formula because it just works. And I want to see how far we could push that.
Yes.
So I'm going to wrap up. Follow Gabe on TikTok for the Hispanic Heritage Month. A bunch of cool videos. The Blood In, Blood Out one is out on the channel now and on TikTok. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share it. Guys, if you like the show, it gets bigger and better, and we get more people on. Fuck, maybe we could get like O.J. Simpson, or I would love to get the guys from Double Toasted. I love those guys. Corey is awesome. Hit the like button. Smash that like button. Share. Tell your grandma about us. Gabe loves grandmas.
I love them gummies.
Yes, it's all about the gummies, but thank you guys for watching every single week. It has been
appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. And I hope you have a great Thursday night. Go see a movie. Go watch a movie. Rent a movie. And we will see you next time.